So when we talk about echo chambers in hip hop, we talking about, a lot people feel like a lot of channels or a lot of the hip hop commentary spaces basically talk about all the positive things when it comes to like their favorites, right? So I want to get everybody's opinion on what you think about that. Do you think that that's factual, that there's a lot of echo chambers in these content creator spaces, or do
Yes.
you feel like there's something else? Just what's your opinions on that?
Yes.
You say yes?
I feel like, yeah, I feel like there's a lot of echo chambers around here, especially even if you're on the exact same side. I feel like we still have instances where we can't critique a certain artist that
Mm,
we both love. Like, in the sense of, like, a hypothetical is like you'll see one person be like, hey, I like his music, but this song I didn't really resonate with. And then
right.
somebody comes in and immediately is just like, oh, well, you don't really like them. You're just a hater in disguise, like, that sort of thing. And I'm like, it reminded me of that tweet that I saw where this guy was just like, hey, he likes pancakes, and then somebody came in and was like, so you hate waffles? Like, it's that. So
Nah,
yeah,
that's a good point.
yeah.
Yeah, I hate the idea that if you disagree with something or you don't like something, it's hate. A lot of people, they follow certain creators or certain people because they feel like those people align with their thoughts on certain subjects. And I feel like as soon as it's like the opposite, everybody's like upset about it. But I don't know why people feel like they should follow a bunch of different like content creators that all agree with what they agree with. And in the minute it's something different, like now it's like, you're either misinformed or you're wrong or you're a hater or you have like a crazy opinion. It's just weird to me.
The reason that happens is, you know what a dopamine rush is, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when someone says X thing, right?
Yeah.
um they'll feel this rush in their brain where they'll want that thing more. So if a
Right.
content creator agrees with what you're saying, right? Let's say you say I like dogs, and someone's of authority says, "Hey, I also like dogs," and then you stick with that group. But the moment that someone says they don't like dogs, you start hating on that person. You think they're misinformed because
Yeah.
they're not providing that same, dopamine rush you got from the authority at hand.
Right. Okay.
And
Um.
this is derived so much from Twitter, Reddit, and all the echo chambers of the world. You can
Yeah.
even say it came before that, but most people nowadays will say it came from the internet, and that is so in tune with people. Like, if you take an author statement, that's why people on Twitter always talk about author statements, is because they want that dopamine rush. They want that rush of someone telling them instead of actually doing the research themselves and actually, reading the story. They want someone to
Right.
tell them the truth. So
Yeah.
if you find it weird, well, in a way, everyone does it eventually. I mean, take your Discord, no offense, right? Take your Discord. We
Mm-hmm.
listen to here to talk to you and communicate with you, right?
Right.
But at the same time, who knows who's here just for, a dopamine rush? You don't know. I don't know. I'm not making a claim that I know.
Right.
And I don't know.
Why would
But
you say
we're
that?
here to provide, that expression and
Uh-uh.
that, I don't know how to word it, that communication to other people to see what other people are saying in the community. That's just my
Okay.
opinion.
What were you saying, Autonomous?
Why would you mention Zoe's chat if you say I ain't making those claims?
Yeah.
I get what he's saying though. I think he's saying like we don't know. Like,
Mm.
I think there's a difference. I think with us, I think a lot of us align with the same like morals, right? And the same
Mhm.
like kind of thinking. Like we understand like, hey, somebody that thinks it's like cool to like make fun of this kind of group of people, like that ain't cool. Somebody that thinks that if somebody says something about you were minors and your first question is, well, this age is legal in this state, like we look at that and that's weird. You know what I mean? I feel like we have a group, and this is part of the battle too. The battle caused this. I feel like
Yeah.
it caused a lot of people to like go on different sides based on what they believe in, like as far as when it got to their morality and everything. So I feel like we all agree in that sense. And I feel like as we've been going throughout the time that we've been since this battle, which is almost a year, right? Throughout this time,
Mhm.
like I feel like we've seen people come and go in our spaces, right? That
Yeah.
think differently, they don't last there. We
Mhm.
have a group of people that we don't always agree on everything. And I feel like people don't understand that. There's things we disagree on. We have healthy discussions about it, and then we move the fuck on. And then there's the people that come in, they disagree, but they make it a point to like, get disrespectful or a certain type of way to prove their point. And I feel like those people just don't last in there. But everybody's gonna call it an echo chamber, like especially with the people that are, come off as like pro Kendrick, right? You come off as pro Kendrick, but what people are not understanding is that Kendrick ain't do nothing for us to criticize yet. And if he has, nobody knows about it because he ain't out there doing shit. So it's like, what are we doing? Like at that point, like you could call it an echo chamber all you want, but if the man ain't doing shit, I feel like if Kendrick did something, anything close to like what the other side has been doing, I feel like we would call that shit out in a quickness. Am I wrong? I feel
If
like
that movie comes out this summer and it's trash, I'm gonna roast him myself.
Facts.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If it happens, like we gonna be there to say something about it. But if it ain't happening and the other side is just spiraling and doing shit, we gonna talk about it, bro. Like it is what it is.
But we have more smoke from Drake because he constantly fucks up. That's what it is.
Yeah.
And not only does he screw up all the time, it's also funny when he does it because he's dumb. It's fun to talk about. So
Because
of
he
course
does
we're
it
gonna
to himself. And that shit is hilarious.
Yeah, no,
I
definitely.
told y'all. I think that man got a humiliation kick. I told y'all.
A humiliation kick?
Yeah, he likes
I
it.
think so too.
Yeah.
I mean, we not kink shaming
he
or
does stuff.
nothing, but yeah, I think so.
On
But
that part, I am.
hold on, Raven, because kink shaming is my kink. I enjoy it.
Yeah, I think people use that as a something to say like, oh, this is an echo chamber. I feel like people just say that because they want to try to put something negative to like what people are saying. But I think people are aligning more with their morals and integrity other than just the idea that somebody is perfect and flawless. I think it's more about how you think about what that certain group is doing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because you can look at somebody like Ack, right? Somebody like Academics. Would y'all consider his echo chamber? Because if there's something positive going on for Kendrick, do y'all think it's something he would report on?
Hell no.
Or if he does report on it, it's backhanded.
It's backhanded.
Yeah, I was gonna say
he'll
that.
try to diminish it as much as possible. That's what.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. His chat roasts him a lot too.
Yeah, he has
I've been seeing
on
some people
his,
in there actively like going against what he be saying, and he acts like he don't see it.
Yeah, he in his lives he has a lot of people that hate watch him, and they be flaming him. But then he also have like his his strong little cult crew that be in there, defending him or whatever.
Sorry.
But yeah, like it's very, I don't know, like over there it's a weird balance. I don't know, because it's like damn near, if it ain't 50-50, it's like 60-40.
Yeah.
I'll say this. I think echo chambers exist on I guess if we're comparing Drake and Kendrick on both sides to a degree.
Yeah,
I think so too.
I think there
Most
is.
definitely. But then, like, if we own up to it, then they'll be like, "Oh, y'all aren't real Kendrick fans." That's a fucking lie. Like, damn, why we can't fucking criticize or critique something? Like, cause we want to be able to enjoy music and be able to have nuanced conversations and not hear a person be like, "Oh, well, you're not a real fan. Fuck you. Fuck off."
Right.
I'm a fan of a lot of people. I'm not gonna kiss your ass.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like, who are you? You don't pay my bills. So yeah, I'm criticizing you do something stupid.
Like maybe I didn't like one thing that you did. That's not saying that I don't like the 90% of other things you did. It's just that little 10%. I didn't like that piece. That's cool.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. To that point, I've seen it on both sides. Like if you critique, if it's a Drake fan saying, "Hey, I don't like the moves Drake makes," they literally get shamed, and they're like, "Well, you wasn't really a real fan anyway." If you critique a Kendrick song that you don't like, Kendrick fans are going to cook you. They are not going to let you. They'll be like, "What? You didn't understand? You're not smart enough?" And it'll be like, chill, damn.
Why you think I just lurk on Twitter? Because like legit,
Yeah,
like,
you can't even
say
engage in
shit.
them. You can't even engage in those arguments because they just arguing on Twitter is a waste of time, bro. It ain't no.
And that's
ain't
why
no
I
point.
don't be on Twitter.
Like honestly, like I be on Twitter because I have to, in the sense that that's where like a lot of the information is when you're like trying to find something to like research for whatever you're talking about. I wish there was another platform that had as much information as Twitter did. You know what I mean? I would love to not use that shit ever again. But you know, it is what it is for now, I guess.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Well, I think it's just the fact that people are online and they can kind of cater their algorithm however they want. And that's what's happening here. If you are, it is what it is. Of course, everyone's gonna have their biases. Everybody's gonna have, their things and what they like and what they don't like. I, for example, will probably, of course, I'll be more biased toward on Kendrick's side than Drake's side. But I won't. It is what it is. But I'm not gonna be like, yo, if someone says something about Kendrick. Like, I think one thing that I hear, and I always hear like people get mad is, oh, I don't like Kendrick's voice, and I'm like, well, hey man, they're entitled to their opinion.
Yeah.
Like, but I get vice versa. I get cooked by Drake fans for saying I like his pop rap records. I don't like when he does like the boom bap rap. I don't like when he does the R&B shit. And they go, it's like, well, that's my take, bro. Like, take it or leave it, bro. I didn't even say nothing that could possibly piss you off. I just don't think he's good at. I don't enjoy it.
Yeah.
If I'm listening to R&B, I'd rather listen to Eric Bellinger. If I'm listening to rap, give me somebody else. That's what it is. Just go back to making God's plan and making me dance.
I feel like they're being personally attacked.
Yes.
That's what it is.
When you're just strictly giving your opinion.
Yeah. Is that
something that is
parasocial?
subjective.
Yeah.
So on the subscriber side, do you feel like people subscribe or purposely subscribe to people who agree with what they're thinking?
Yeah.
Yes.
I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
I think we all have.
You just saw it in your chat with the LeBron thing. Like, yo, that's not your lane. Go back to talking about hip hop. It's like, yo, what?
Oh no, let me start the controversy. And that was racist. Let's go with that. Let's go with that.
Which it's wild to me because when I see stuff like that, I don't take none of that stuff personally because I already know like this is the internet. There's no way like the internet's gonna get to me with the bullshit that they say. Actually hoop. Like I know I know what I'm talking about. To hear somebody say that and be like, yeah, that's not your lane. Whatever you say is whatever you say. Opinions gonna always be opinions. What do I look like getting mad at your opinion and then asking you to take what I'm saying as my opinion and accept it? Like if you got something to say to debate it, I'm all for that. At the end of the day, guess what it is? It's my opinion. That's what this channel is for. This channel is for me to talk about my opinion, and in the comment section is for you to debate it. If you got a difference of opinion, that's what the comment section is for. I just always tell people, like, if you're gonna say something, a difference of opinion, be respectful. You know what I mean? Because if you want respect, you gotta give it out. For me, just hearing like how the people reacted to that is weird to me because I feel like 90% of the people who reacted to that video are fans of LeBron.
You probably just showed up on that algorithm.
Right. And I showed up on the algorithm because I was talking about LeBron. And because now that you're a fan of LeBron, you don't like that I'm criticizing LeBron, which is weird because everybody ignored the part. So everybody heard me say, I'm not a fan of LeBron. But nobody heard me say I'm not a fan of LeBron because I don't respect some of the decisions he's made. I never said, I fucking hate LeBron. Can't stand him. I said I'm not a fan of LeBron because I don't like the decision that he's made. And then in that same video, I said, and I definitely don't fucking like Stephen A. Smith. So what I'm basically telling you is I don't have a dog in the fight. I'm in the middle. I got no reason to go on either side, And I said in the video that they both was corny for what they did. But I feel like when you're a fan and you're watching it from a fan perspective and not anything else, you're looking at it already and you hear me say they both corny. What? LeBron's not corny. he's the GOAT. Like it's like are you like he could still be your GOAT and still do some corny shit, and you could be like, yeah, that wasn't it, dog. But hey, win the next game. Like, you know what I mean? You can still do that, bro. To be in the comment section talk about, yeah, you must not have any kids then, because how would you act with your kid? Like, I'm like, bro.
I was like, bro, what
I'm
the
like,
fuck?
yo, y'all really got some issues, man. Like, you must not have no kids. Like, how do you even type that shit up? Like, that makes no sense.
How many times in several videos have you mentioned about, I got a kid, so such and such, such and such, I don't like this, or I feel a certain way because I got kids.
Right.
But
yeah. And
that's Zoe got like 7 kids, so of course he gonna feel something way.
Zoe got how many? What is this guy doing? Going to an island?
Yo, it's just wild.
He trying to catch up with Future, y'all.
It's wild just seeing people do that. It's like, like my kid is not in the fucking NBA, dog. My kid is not in the NBA playing fucking basketball for the Los Angeles Lakers, bro. Like,
exactly.
That was literally my point.
We need to see your kids play ball, man. Let's see what's going on, man. I'm gonna critique them to the fullest.
But that's what I mean. Like, to be a fan to be so much of a fan that you can't rationalize that and understand, you know what? Yeah, you're right. Yo, my kid, like, definitely my kid not in the NBA. Like, if I push my kid through to be an NBA player on a team I already know is a team that is super high pressure, and I put my son in a position to play there, I have to expect for them to criticize him.
Yeah.
Like, it just comes with the territory. You know that is coming. So why should there be special treatment for me to say, you can't talk about my son, or you can't say nothing about my son? Now, everybody obviously gonna come in and, the trigger word, he said, but he says as a father. Yeah, and in the video, I said he was wrong for that. Or did you not watch that part? You know what I mean? It just, right. It just, they don't, like, it's like, yo, I said that in the video. I said, yeah, he was wrong for saying father, and that's the trigger word. Yeah. But at the end of the day, they both corny, bro, for doing that shit. The way they reacting in public is corny as shit. And if you can't separate yourself to just admit that, I can't have a conversation with you, dog.
That's that straw man argument that everybody talks about. Is like somebody will make a whole list of points, and then you'll find the one that you can actually argue, and you settle with that one. It's like somebody brought the point. It's like, did you cheat on me, and did you drink my Sprite? And then the other person's like, I didn't drink your Sprite. It's like, wait a minute. I said, what is that? Where you gonna grab that one part?
Right. Yeah. It's like you moving past like the whole argument. Like,
right.
I'm gonna need you to lock in.
You know what makes it hard also? It's like, y'all know me. Like, I don't never like hear y'all say something and then I'll be like, nah, that ain't it. It's this and this, that, because I said it. Like, I listen to what y'all say. Like, when y'all give me, sometimes I get information from y'all. I don't be knowing everything that's going on. So could there be a video where I come in and I say something that's not, 100% like on point? Yeah, that could happen. But there's a way to debate that and talk about it, right? There's a way to talk about that. Bro, when you start off your thing with like, you're just a hater. What the fuck? What the fuck I'm hating on LeBron for? Like, for what? Like, what the fuck is that gonna do? Like, the nigga not gonna come and ask me what I'm hating for, or what I'm on, or why I made this video about him. I don't care. This is literally what you do on YouTube. You put out content, dog.
Exactly.
So I don't know.
And it's legit. Like, the parasocial line, it's crossed.
Yeah.
When it comes to that. They feel like they are personally attacked on his behalf. Yeah. And I'm like, bitch, do you know him? Like, do you know him personally?
Yeah,
like, it's wild.
My kid Braun, he used to play basketball with Bronny back in the day, bro.
Yeah, it's insane.
At a park in LA.
Okay.
Even me, so we was in the chat late talking about it. Like, we were talking about it. We didn't all agree on the same shit. Like, we was disagreeing. You know what I mean? Me, Ant didn't agree with what I was saying, but there's a way to have that conversation. Exactly. Not once did I say,
funny. The way they were going about it, I'm like, all right, bro, I gotta stop it. I had to literally, and I didn't even agree with you. And they were like, you're a LeBron hater. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
I actually didn't even agree. Like, with what Zoe had to say, and but like, and then now I started. Then their arguments were so extreme towards for LeBron. Then now I started looking like I was the hater because I'm like, no, I don't agree with this, that. Like, what was it? Like they're acting like it's only the kid part, but then nobody talks about like he went to Pat McAfee to get petty with because that's a First Take's competitor.
Yeah,
you can't sit here. As much as I'm defending, you can't sit here and tell me that it wasn't childish on both sides.
Yeah.
As much as I don't agree with Stephen A, and I do think he took it far. Hey, it is what it is. Like you can't tell me LeBron is innocent either.
But I think that was overall what the video was about. Is that they both wrong in their own ways, right? You know, Stephen A is
I
wrong.
agree with that. Yeah.
Stephen A is wrong for how he approaching the shit, and maybe he talked about it way too much. I don't know, but also like with LeBron, like LeBron is wrong too in his way because of how he reacting. You know what I mean? I feel like you should understand the position that your son is in and understand that the pressure is there. You went through the same amount of pressure, you know, and I get it that it's your son, but you have to understand what environment he's in. Like he's in an industry that's high pressure, bro. Like people don't want to. These are fans. Like they don't want to hear like, oh man, you know what? Yeah, he ain't score enough points today. It's all good. Like it's cool. Yeah. Like they don't want to hear that shit. They don't want to hear that shit. And if anybody should know that shit, it should be Bron.
Yeah, and then
they acted like LeBron. They acted like LeBron did not personally, have a want for his son to be on the team with him.
Exactly.
So they could play ball together, so they could fulfill a dream that he has. It ain't got nothing like it's very selfish because you put your child in a weird predicament because you know the team that you're on is highly competitive and they have a certain standard that they have to uphold. Like we the Lakers, we supposed to be the best of the best of the best. And if your son is out here not performing to the best of the best of the best, he's gonna get criticized, and you put him there, sir. Yeah. When he didn't have to be there. You could have let him develop more, and then he could have came into league. But because you were being selfish because of the things that you wanted, you put now your son getting talked about. Now you mad? No, be mad at yourself. You did that.
Like you put him in this because like both of them are in the spotlight. Both of them they know how tabloids are. They know that they sensationalize a lot of stories. Right. So why would you put your child in that predicament like that? Like why?
I get it. Like if I was in the NBA, right, and I had a career that LeBron had, and I got a chance to play with my son. Yeah, why would I would think that shit is cool as shit. I would, but I'm also gonna understand what I'm bringing him into. Like, you know what I mean? And I can't be trying to jump down and try to get special favors from my kid. You know what I mean? It just looks bad. Like I get it. If honestly, you've been getting everything handed to you your whole career, right? People have been, you've been the face of the NBA. So he probably is in a space where he feels like, my son needs special treatment. My son, he gonna get a guaranteed contract versus these people that don't have guaranteed contracts that might even be better than him or even maybe just more ready than he is. You know what I mean? But it's, I think it's selfish to like throw him in that position. And I feel like that's what Stephen A was trying to say. But unfortunately, he used the trigger word as a father. Now, had Stephen A never said as a father, do y'all think we would be having this conversation?
I actually believe so.
I don't think. I think just the word as a father is what led to it. Because I mean, Bronny has been criticized a lot.
Yeah, but I'm saying no. I don't think nobody had made it about fatherhood and like, oh, you're attacking my family until he said as a father. Right? Is that factual? Does that? He basically said as a father, stop this. Like as far as like putting him like in situations where they would put him, because they started putting him in like games where he underperformed, and basically they were saying like send him to the G League and let him develop, stop putting him in these situations. And Stephen A said as a father. So once he said that, that's what it turned into. Oh, you attacking my family.
Basically, like him as a
We're
father,
talking
like
about
you
from
should know
Bron's
better than to
POV
put
like
or
him
the
in this
as a
people
father.
situation.
rebuttaling him. I'd say the first rebuttal initially was, which I would say was a fair point, which is, what was it? Well, it was the fact that this was his first actual game where he got to play, and they did send him to the G League before, and he did ball out. And then that's the following thing kind of came when, I think more recently with the Pat McAfee one. That's when I started seeing the falling thing. But at first it was like, hey, well, this guy's been in the G League. Where are you at? And then people were questioning Steve because, Stephen A. Smith does not watch NBA games, and we know that. So I think that it became that. And then once LeBron came in and said my family, it started becoming family.
Yeah.
And then it went from NBA fans to broad sexuals all teaming up against Stephen A. And then it just all piled up. And then it became the father quote.
Well, somebody in the chat asked, has LeBron ever responded to any criticism of Bronny prior to this?
No.
No.
Yeah, he has when he was in college.
In college? Wait,
when they were talking.
Oh, when they were. Oh, yeah.
He has mentioned them
because he didn't do that well. He wasn't doing that well in USC either.
Which honestly, he just literally died like 2 months prior, so I don't know why anyone expected him to play good.
Yeah, true. Oh yeah.
So honestly, I really think it comes down to he's still sensitive because it's still 1 year due to the fact that his son literally died for like a couple hours.
Yeah.
And honestly, he already was been planning this for 10 years with Stephen A. and honestly needed an excuse. I think Bronny was the problem. I really think because Stephen A. has really said out of pocket things about LeBron outside of Bronny.
Yeah.
So like the D Wade thing, the Hall of Fame thing, the Kobe thing, and other things he said slightly to kind of like throw backhanded compliments. So LeBron's honestly waited to say something and just use that as an excuse at the end of the day, which I think LeBron was kind of fucked up for that. As a LeBron fan, like you don't need to use that as an excuse. But honestly, the enemy's obviously the enemy. But I wish he would have did it better and had a better way of approaching it. But if that's how you want to do it, oh well, he took that approach. But I don't agree with how he took the approach.
Yeah.
His approach is a little.
Yeah. I mean, listen, I think so. My whole point of the whole thing was I wasn't talking about whether he did good in the G League. I wasn't talking about whether he good now. That wasn't the point of the conversation. The point of the conversation was the fact that, these two did some corny shit and they was out here displaying all this shit in public, doing all this back and forth shit. I just thought it was corny. And I feel like the overall conversation here is if you're gonna put your kid in that position to be critiqued, you gotta expect what's gonna come like with it. It is what it is. Like this is the trade-off. Like when you're in the NBA, you're gonna get critiqued. It's the same way that if you're a big ass actress or actor, like you gonna get critiqued. You're not gonna be able to walk outside and go do some regular shit. It's gonna be somebody right there with a camera, and that's what comes with it. Imagine being an actor and you can't even go to the store and do some regular shit without somebody be like, oh shit, he didn't buy organic lettuce. He bought fucking this lettuce. Why the fuck did he do that? Like, you know what I mean? Or he went to the register and his card declined. And then now they got a whole video that zoomed in to you yelling with the damn cashier like, oh, I don't know how this happened. Now all of a sudden there's a story here that you broke and you ain't had no acting jobs in however long. Like, imagine having to deal with all that shit. Like, it's crazy. So, but it's the trade-off. This is what you trade. You accept this life. Like, you want to be an actor. You wouldn't trade it. You wouldn't give it up. This is what you get. I mean, I just feel like it's the same thing in the NBA. Like, unfortunately, you LeBron's son. Everything you do, they gonna be watching you, bro. Like
it's
you in college.
And scrutinized.
Yeah. You in college, if you coming off the bench. You coming off the bench in college, they still gonna be talking about you. You the 55th pick. They gonna talk about you like you the first. Cause you LeBron's son. That's just, it is what it is. Cope Sandy put a super chat. He said,
for the Bron.
hold on, let me get the super chat. He said, to me, it was personal because Stephen A haven't talked about any other rookies in the NBA that's doing way worse than Bronny. But that brings us right back to the point. It's because it's Bronny. Yeah. Why would they talk about any other player other than Bronny? It's because Bronny is attached to LeBron James. And not only that, he's attached to LeBron James and on the Los Angeles Lakers. They're one of the biggest franchises. I told y'all, if the Lakers lose 2 games in a row, everybody gonna be talking about it. They're gonna be like, damn, like, yo, is the season over? Like, the Lakers is a high pressure environment, bro. Anybody who played for the Lakers will be able to tell you that. Like, you're not gonna go on the Lakers and be mediocre.
Yeah.
Hey,
go ahead,
Chance the Rapper once said it. Everybody wants to be a Laker, so they realize that everybody fucking hates the Lakers.
I don't know, man. I just think that there's this like a Game of Thrones, like, you know, when you got the big fight at the end.
If you're on the Lakers,
go ahead.
Yeah, if you're on the Lakers, you suck anyway. Let's go Heat.
Whoa.
I wanted to rephrase. You if you're on the Lakers, you have an expectation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like you have to excel, like, because they look at themselves as like basketball royalty, right? You know, it's the same way the Celtics look at themselves as basketball royalty. Like, they feel like they are the franchise
because they haven't won a championship since
right.
Since like Falcons were not allowed to be in different sizes.
Yeah, but they had a point where all they was doing was winning, right? So they're gonna continue to go off of those years. Same thing with the Lakers. Like, you know, that's why when you go over there, you don't perform, they be quick to let your ass go. You know, but again,
I think
like,
the Lakers got more merit. To be fair, I think the Lakers, because the Celtics ain't win shit since like civil rights wasn't even around when they won.
And what last year?
Let's keep it a beat.
But they still got it. They still got it.
Man, last year,
one
rafters,
championship. The rafters is all that matters.
69 years, we don't count that shit.
Listen, the rafters is all that matters, bro. You walk into the arena and you see them shits hung up there, that's all that matters. Because when you walk into an arena that don't got it,
all of us had to drink in different fountains. That's the last time they won. Come on, bro.
Damn.
But look,
wow,
that's crazy.
Wow,
that's wild.
That's a fact.
Don't even.
The last time the Celtics won, my great grandfather was alive.
So when's the last time the Heat won?
Oh my God.
2013.
Ty. Come on, Ty.
When is the last championship game?
Hey.
Don't talk to me. Talk to Ed, because he the one
every year. When's the last time you won against us? We beat your ass every year. Jimmy Butler is still the Celtics. He owns the Celtics. He owns the Celtics.
Who is weak?
Based on
your ass don't play.
Heat fans, we're unlike the racist Boston fans.
2013.
Jeez.
And they said the past 10 seasons between 2016 and 2025, they have a 54.5% winning percentage.
The better question to ask Ant is, what's the last time the Heat won without LeBron? That was over 20 years ago.
Oh, this LeBron fanboy is talking so much.
Well, you talking jump about the Celtics. I'm like, I'm not gonna have you slander the Celtics. I don't even like the Celtics. The Celtics are. We know their fans are racist, disgusting.
Hold on, man. Let's not act like the Heat ain't teach LeBron how to win. They taught that man how to win.
Yeah, we taught LeBron how to win.
Okay, hold on, y'all.
If you're gonna talk about the Celtics, like, come on.
Okay, so the championship years, they have a winning percentage of 65.2%, and the last time they won a championship was last year.
Yeah, they won last year.
But what was the last since the 2010s? Because their record is way worse than us.
One before
since the 2000s. Actually, since the 2000s, it was worse than us.
2008 before.
This is sounding very Cowboy fanish.
No, listen here. We've had a top 3 record since the 2000s, and that's proven.
Living in the past. You're living in the past.
From the 2000s to the present.
So y'all got 3 championships. 2000.
Wait, hold on. Y'all didn't know. This is a Miami Heat echo chamber, yo. Y'all only supposed to talk good about the Miami Heat.
Oh,
no,
damn.
Niggas acting bad, but somebody gotta do it. Got my foot up on the gas, but somebody gotta do it.